What is the problem? Ohio is experiencing new outbreaks of mumps and measles, and lives are lost each year to largely preventable illnesses, including influenza. Many people are choosing to forego immunization, and this choice is often based on information that is not supported by research. Our group chose to seek solutions to this emerging social problem. How did this problem come to be? Vaccines are victims of their own success. Our generation has not witnessed the debilitating effects of diseases like polio, smallpox, measles, and whooping cough. As immunization became common practice, herd immunity grew, and the lessons of the past have been forgotten. Historically, protection from devastating diseases far outweighed any small perceived risk from the vaccines themselves. Society has become complacent, avoiding immunization for reasons that are not supported by evidence-based research. For example, some parents fear that there is a connection between autism and vaccines. This common fallacy stems from a flawed study conducted by Dr. Andrew Wakefield. The doctor proposed a link between autism and the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine. He based his conclusion on a small skewed sample, and he made the mistake of misconstruing association as causation. The faulty study got a lot of media attention and caused a drop in vaccination rates. The journal that published the study retracted it, calling it a deliberate fraud. Despite numerous subsequent studies debunking the link, many people still think that vaccines cause autism. Personal or religious beliefs have contributed to vaccine noncompliance also. Religious objections to vaccines are based generally on the ethical dilemmas associated with human cells to create vaccines and belief that the body should not receive certain chemicals, blood, or tissues from animals, or that it should be healed by God or natural means. Religious vaccine exemptions are increasing, and although people with these exemptions comprise only a small part of the overall population, they are often the center of controversy, as infections can spread quickly through small, unvaccinated church communities. An example of this is the recent measles outbreaks among the Knox County, Ohio Amish. Misconceptions that have contributed to decreased immunization rates include thinking that the shot can cause the illness that is intended to prevent, and the belief that vaccines are unnecessary because diseases have been eradicated. Why is vaccine noncompliance a problem? Why is it so important to immunize? Effective immunization programs have caused many diseases to become uncommon in the United States. However, decreases in immunization rates are permitting these once rare diseases like measles and mumps to make a comeback. Furthermore, diseases that have been nearly eradicated are still a problem in other parts of the world. It is important to understand our responsibility in the concept of herd immunity, which is when the majority of a population is immunized against a contagious disease, thus decreasing the opportunity for an outbreak. Unvaccinated people pose a threat of transmission when there is disease in the community. They can pass the disease on to vulnerable others, like babies who are too young for vaccines, children who cannot be immunized due to medical conditions like leukemia, and the very small percentage of people who do not develop immunity in response to vaccination. These people who cannot receive certain vaccinations rely on the protection of the immunity of the general public. Therefore, when parents decide not to vaccinate their children, they not only put them at risk, but they also risk vulnerable others. Childhood vaccine doses can decrease over time in effectiveness. Adults often need booster doses to provide adequate protection for themselves and others. For example, an unprotected mother can transmit disease to her new baby, who is too young to be vaccinated. In many instances, the adult immune system easily fends off a disease that can overwhelm the immature immune system of a child. Unvaccinated pregnant women are susceptible to diseases that may complicate their pregnancy and threaten the health of their babies. We decided to use the following criteria to choose a solution. 1. Our solution must reach our target audience. We can only effectively educate those who hear our message. 2. Our solution must be ethical and based on accurate, unbiased information. 3. Our solution must be effective and promote action that has long-term effect on the problem. 4. Our solution must not alienate those with differing perspectives. And finally, 5. Our solution should get and hold people's attention. Solutions we considered. We thought about organizing a volunteer program where nurses, pediatricians, or nursing students attend parent-teacher organization meetings to speak about the importance of immunizations, describe the risks of vaccine-related illness, provide accurate research-based information about vaccine safety and possible side effects, address misconceptions about vaccines, and answer questions. We considered organizing a program where volunteer nurses, pediatricians, or nursing students attend school-associated parent organization meetings to educate attendees on the concept of herd immunity. Additionally, we could print brochures explaining the concept of herd immunity and send them home with parents of school children. Brochures could also be distributed to pediatricians' offices and health clinics. We thought about organizing a traveling vaccine van to make immunization more convenient and to reach disadvantaged or isolated groups. We decided to recruit volunteer nurses, pediatricians, and/or nursing students to educate pregnant women and new mothers on the importance of immunization. We could work with local OB/GYN offices, area health departments, and community clinics to link up with participants. Rationale for the solution that we chose. After analyzing our possible solutions and evaluating them according to our group's chosen criteria, we decided the best solution was the one that reached out to moms-to-be and new families. This proposed solution reaches adults who are, or will soon be, the decision makers for children needing immunization. Parents-to-be are likely to have other children at home. Additionally, the new parents, grandparents, and other family members may need booster shots not only to protect themselves but also to ensure that they do not pass illnesses to the vulnerable young children. This solution reaches both those in favor of and opposed to immunization, adults most at risk of passing illness to vulnerable others, and at-risk children. Immunization teaching would be evidence-based and would include disclosure of vaccine side effects. Teachers would address misconceptions and encourage the use of reputable research sources. Education empowers parents to make decisions that are in the best interest of their children. Most important, it reaches people who are just beginning their families, so we can intervene in faulty thinking from the start and promote a healthy beginning. We can avoid shutting out those with differing perspectives by addressing their concerns accurately and in an unbiased manner. Parents would be supported in their efforts to conduct their own research and take an active role in promoting their children's well-being. They would be cautioned, however, against basing these decisions on misinformation. We would be respectful and completely address their concerns and support their decision-making roles. Finally, we could encourage our audience and make this presentation interesting by presenting case studies and using visual aids and humor. Putting it into action. In order to implement our program, we would need to enlist agencies, providers, and local media to assist us in recruiting program participants. We could contact public health clinics, social service agencies, charitable organizations, and pediatricians' offices. We could print brochures detailing class meeting times and places. We could request a donated space in a local newspaper to do a story on the problem of vaccination noncompliance. We will need to enlist volunteer teachers. We could collaborate with a local nursing college to educate the pregnant women and young members while providing students with teaching experience. And we will need a meeting place. Some churches, libraries, and community buildings have rooms available for public use.